You are losing right now. Not a competition, not an argument, not a game you chose to play and could choose to stop. Something else. Something that started the moment you were born and has been running without pause, without mercy, without any interest in your preferences or your plans or your efforts to push back against it. You are losing ground every single day, in every system, in every structure, in every organized thing you have ever tried to build or maintain or protect. And you have felt this. You have felt it in the pile of dishes that returns the moment you wash it. You have felt it in the inbox that empties and fills, like a tide that never stops coming in. You have felt it in your body, the maintenance it demands, the sleep and food and exercise it requires just to stay functional, the way it moves toward disorder the moment you stop attending to it. You have felt it in every relationship that requires effort, every skill that requires practice, every garden that requires tending. You assumed this was a personal problem, a motivation problem, a you problem. It is not. It is a law of physics. And it applies to everything in the universe without exception. And it has been applying to you specifically since before you took your first breath. And it will continue applying to everything you leave behind long after you are gone. The universe is not indifferent to you. Indifference would be tolerable. The universe is structurally, mathematically, fundamentally biased against every ordered thing you are and every ordered thing you try to create. Why? What is the law exactly? And why, when you follow it to its conclusion, does it say something about the nature of time itself that nobody told you in school? The answer is going to feel personal, because it is. Now let's be fair to the optimistic intuition, because it has genuine support. Order exists. Everywhere you look, there is structure. Galaxies, solar systems, planets with weather and oceans and life. Your own body is an extraordinary example of local order. Trillions of cells organized into tissues and organs and systems, all of it functioning with a precision that makes the finest human engineering look crude. And evolution built all of that order without a plan, without intelligence, without any goal. Order arises. Complexity increases. Life gets more sophisticated over geological time. Surely the universe cannot be fundamentally opposed to order if order is everywhere. You might say, order and disorder coexist. The universe makes stars and galaxies and life. It builds things. It is not purely a demolition machine. And that is a fair observation. Let's check it. Let's be honest about what is actually being traded every time order appears. If you want to understand how the universe actually works, not just how it looks, but how it works, hit that subscribe button. We are going to take things apart and see what makes them tick. Let's find things out together. Here is the concept you need, and let's take the word seriously. Entropy. Think about that word, entropy. It sounds technical and cold and distant, like something that only matters in thermodynamics textbooks. But entropy is the most personal physics concept that exists. Entropy is the reason you age, the reason you die, the reason the universe will end, the reason every moment is unrepeatable and every structure is temporary and every ordered thing, given enough time, becomes something else. Here is the analogy that makes it concrete. Imagine a new deck of cards, fresh from the box, ace through king, suits in order, perfectly arranged. There is exactly one arrangement of those 52 cards that counts as the ordered deck. One. Now start shuffling. Every shuffle moves the deck toward disorder, and here is the critical point. There are approximately 8 times 10 to the power of 67 possible arrangements of 52 cards. That is a number so large that if every human who ever lived had been shuffling a deck every second since the beginning of the universe, you would not have come close to exhausting the possible arrangements. The ordered arrangement is 1 out of 80 billion, 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 billion. The disordered arrangements outnumber the ordered one by a margin that makes the word astronomical seem laughably inadequate. Do you see what happens? Order is not impossible. Order is just extraordinarily, overwhelmingly, almost infinitely improbable. And the universe, operating by random processes at the microscopic level, moves toward the probable. Not because it wants to, not because it is hostile, because probability is the only direction statistics allows in a system with this many possible states. The second law of thermodynamics, the law of entropy increase, is not really a law about physics in the way that gravity is a law about physics. It is a law about statistics. It says, in any closed system, the number of possible disordered states so vastly outnumbers the number of possible ordered states that movement toward disorder is not just likely, it is for all practical purposes certain. The deck will not spontaneously return to its ordered arrangement, not because the laws of physics forbid it, because the probability is so low it will not happen in any time we can meaningfully imagine. Your body is an ordered deck of cards in a universe that shuffles constantly. Now here is where it gets both deeper and stranger, because the second law of thermodynamics does something that most physics laws do not do. It defines the direction of time. Think about that for a moment. The fundamental laws of physics, Newton's laws, Maxwell's equations, quantum mechanics, general relativity, are all time symmetric. They work equally well forward and backward. A film of two billiard balls colliding looks physically valid whether you play it forward or in reverse. The fundamental physics does not prefer a direction, but a film of an egg falling off a table and shattering on the floor does not look valid in reverse. You know instantly, with absolute certainty, that a pile of shell fragments and yolk does not spontaneously assemble itself into an egg and leap upward onto the table. Not because the physics forbids it, the physics technically allows it, but because the probability is so incomprehensibly small that it will never happen. The arrow of time, the reason the past is different from the future, the reason you can remember yesterday but not tomorrow, the reason cause precedes effect, is entirely a consequence of entropy. Time moves in the direction of increasing disorder because that is the direction of increasing probability. The past is the low entropy direction. The future is the high entropy direction. And the reason you experience time as flowing forward is that your brain, your memories, your entire causal structure are entropy-driven processes that only work in one direction. Now I want to take this deeper, because this is where it stops being about thermodynamics and starts being about you specifically. Your life is a local, temporary, enormously costly victory against entropy. Every cell in your body is an ordered structure being maintained against the constant pressure of disorder, requiring energy, requiring resources, requiring the constant expenditure of effort to stay assembled. You eat to generate the energy to maintain your structure. You sleep to allow repair processes to run. You age because the repair processes are imperfect and the cumulative damage of entropy accumulates faster than it can be corrected. You die when the maintenance finally fails and disorder wins. This is the part that keeps me up at night, because here is the full picture stated without softening. Every ordered thing in the universe is a temporary fluctuation. Stars form from the gravitational collapse of gas clouds, burn for billions of years, and then either explode or cool to dark cinders. Galaxies orbit and merge, and eventually, in the unimaginable deep future, the last stars will burn out. The black holes will evaporate via Hawking radiation over timescales of 10 to the power of 100 years, and then there will be nothing but a thin, cold, uniform soup of particles at maximum entropy, the heat death of the universe, the final state where no further change is possible because no temperature gradients remain, no structure persists, no information is preserved. Everything you have ever loved, every person, every idea, every civilization, every star, every galaxy, temporary fluctuations of order in a universe trending toward maximum disorder. The universe is not being cruel, it is being statistical, and the statistics are unambiguous. But bring this back to right now, to your body and your life today. You had breakfast this morning, which means you consumed ordered chemical structures, food, and converted them into energy and heat and waste. You increased the entropy of your food dramatically to maintain your own local order marginally. This is the deal. This is always the deal. Every ordered thing maintains itself by accelerating disorder somewhere else. Your existence is contingent on a constant, never-ending process of borrowing order from your environment and returning disorder. The universe is not giving you something for nothing. It is letting you be temporarily ordered at the cost of making everything around you slightly more disordered. The sun is burning through its hydrogen, irreversibly, permanently, partly so that plants can grow and you can eat and your neurons can fire and you can have the experience of being alive and thinking these thoughts. You are burning a star, slowly, one meal at a time. But here is where I land when I follow this all the way through, and I want to say this carefully because I think it is true and I think it matters. The fact that order is improbable is not a curse. It is the source of everything that has value. If disorder were not the default, if order were not rare and costly and temporary, then order would mean nothing. A diamond is precious because carbon atoms almost never arrange themselves that way. A living thing is extraordinary because matter almost never organizes itself into something that can move and think and love and grieve. You are extraordinary not despite the second law of thermodynamics, but because of it. Your existence is a statistical anomaly of breathtaking improbability, maintained against the constant pressure of a universe trending toward uniformity for a brief and unrepeatable interval of time. The universe is not trying to destroy you. It is simply doing what statistics requires. And in the face of those statistics, here you are, ordered, thinking, aware, temporary, improbable, and real. Entropy will win in the end, it always does, but it has not won yet. And in the meantime, you are the universe's most interesting mistake. If this twisted your brain a little bit, good. That means it's working. I'll see you in the next one.